All right.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today. My name is Kevin Schulman. I'm the director of Stanford's newest master's degree, our Master's of Science in Clinical Informatics Management. And this is our first virtual information session. So we're very excited to be chatting with you today. And I'm joined today by Zoe Richardson, who's our program director for MCiM. Zoe?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Well, thanks. Kind of by way of background, I'm a faculty member here at Stanford. I've been here for 2 years. I'm an internist, health services researcher, health economist. I have appointments in the Department of Medicine and at the Graduate School of Business. Before coming to Stanford, I was a member of the faculty at the medical school and the business school at Duke, and then subsequently at the medical school at Duke and the business school at Harvard. So I've had a long career in teaching at the intersection of business and health information technology. The Master's of Science in Clinical Informatics Management is a new degree program here at Stanford. I'll explain a little bit more about the program and what the opportunity we see is for this program at Stanford. So in terms of our agenda for this info session, so I introduced myself a little bit, and Zoe had been fellowship director of our Clinical Excellence Research Center Design Fellowship and is now, as I said, program manager for this program. Should say that we are recording this webinar tonight, and the webinar will be available on the MCiM website. So in terms of an agenda, we'll describe the program, about why we're so excited about this new degree program here at Stanford, a little bit more into the skills that students will gain from the program, how and who will benefit from the program, and then some information. Zoe will go over the application process, the admissions process, and then we've been fortunate to have a bunch of questions submitted in advance that we'll go through very quickly. At any given time, Zoe's monitoring the chat while I'm talking. And so if you have questions, please just use the chat function and we'd be happy to answer them. So, the idea of health information technology is not new, and the opportunity to use information technology has been around for a long time. Here's Barack Obama, going back in history in 2009. He signed something called the High-Tech Act that provided financial incentives for doctors and hospitals to adopt information technology in healthcare. At the time, he said health information technology connects doctors and patients with more complete and accurate health records. Tools like electronic health records and electronic prescriptions will help patients and providers make safer, smarter decisions about healthcare. Better technology can also cut costs for providers by reducing paperwork and duplicative tests. From this really broad vision about health information technology, the federal government's invested $38 billion in health information technology over the last decade. And despite this very clear vision of how technology would improve the practice of medicine and improve the experience for patients, there's actually very little evidence that we've been able to accomplish a lot of these. So functionally, yes, we do have records. Yes, we do have electronic prescriptions, but we don't have these economic benefits. And the question is why? Why is it that with such a massive investment, we don't have a different healthcare system? And that's where MCiM comes in. So the idea of improving quality and reducing costs in healthcare is a core goal. It isn't just adopting electronic health records to get us over the finish line. Our vision for MCiM is a targeted, intensive approach to knowledge and skills not widely taught in terms of how to shape organizations and how to take advantage of this evolving digital landscape. Obviously, here at Stanford, we're surrounded by riches on the campus in terms of the engineering school, the business school, the design school, but also across the Bay Area innovation community. We're all struggling with this question about why can't we use digital tools to really evolve the healthcare system in a dramatic fashion. On top of that, coming to Stanford from the East Coast, you're really struck by this sense of optimism on the campus and in the community. We're here to tackle big problems, and the cost of healthcare, quality of healthcare, and accessibility of healthcare, the so-called triple aims, is a big problem that really merits a Stanford-sized solution, and that's why we're so excited about this program. So in terms of the key features, we wanted to build a program for working professionals. Now, this is not just clinicians, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But we want to combine class projects with weekend classes. This will be a primarily in-person program that we're, given where we are, the classes will start June of 2021. So hopefully we'll have a different environment by that time and be able to conduct our classes on campus. But we'll be here every other weekend. The idea is to uniquely blend Stanford's expertise in medicine, business, and technology in the classroom. We're going to, across campus, build an interdisciplinary network of faculty and affiliated centers and students, and I'll tell you more about that. And we'll try and address this idea of technology, business, and healthcare from a management perspective to provide students with the tools they need to apply technology to really accomplish the triple aim goals of cost, quality, and access in healthcare. And I think at the end of this, we're really excited that we hope that we'll create a cadre of leaders prepared to address the urgent healthcare issues that we're trying to face and the technology challenges that surround all of us. So this is quite an ambitious set of goals, but it's quite an ambitious program. In terms of the curriculum, we combined, in putting this together, this is a curriculum that's evolved. I started it at Duke about a decade ago, and it's evolved over time. And now for MCiM, we put this curriculum in a Stanford context, as you'll see. But what we try and do is marry the features of how can we be effective within an organizational structure, within a healthcare system, within a technology company, within a health insurance company or healthcare delivery organization. How can we be effective as leaders? And what are the tools that we need to help us as leaders and managers to succeed? And those tools all draw from business disciplines. And so the core of MCiM, or one of the cores of MCiM on the business side, is about half of the core of an MBA program. The other set of tools are around kind of technology and how do we think about technology. And that includes thinking about design thinking and design as a way of deploying technology. It has a lot to do with the technology courses that I'll describe and applications of technology specific solutions in healthcare. And then finally, we're going to bring this all together with a broad bioethics wrapper. So if you think about the intersection of business, technology, and healthcare, we run into issues of data privacy. We run into issues of things like algorithm development and biases. We run into lots of other issues. I'm doing a lot of work right now in computer vision. How do we think about applications of computer vision in healthcare? So that's the overview of the curriculum. And then in the next two slides, I'll lay out kind of the different classes and describe them briefly. So we start with the core of business is accounting for managers and entrepreneurs. And this covers both topics of financial accounting and managerial accounting. Financial accounting is how do we do reporting with things like income statements and cash flow statements and balance sheets. And managerial accounting is how do we understand things like cost accounting and the use of accounting tools to help us understand unit economics. So accounting is kind of a core class, a core set of principles. I was always scared of accounting as an undergrad, but actually it was one of my favorite courses in business school. Stanford is really famous for its D School, and we're going to bring that into our program through a unique biodesign course we're going to do in Q1, where we think about design thinking applied to health information technology solutions. really fabulous faculty member that we've identified for that program. Leading and managing healthcare organizations. How do we think about management skills, leadership skills, and what's special about healthcare and working kind of in a multidisciplinary environment, high pressure environment, and challenging environment. So that's going to be our core management class. And then finally, as I said, we have a bioethics seminar that's going to run the full year. David Magnus from our Bioethics Center has agreed to head up that class, and that's going to be a really exciting look at this intersection from a very different perspective. Each of these courses runs the full Stanford semester. Again, which is 12 weeks long. We'll be here half of those weekends, so 6 weekends. And classes will run Friday, Saturday. And so you'll have one session on Friday, one session on Saturday for each of these classes. Bioethics will meet once a month during the weekend. So that's the first quarter. That'll start June of next summer. The second quarter delves a little bit more into strategy. How do we think about business strategy, business principles, about gaps and growth, Porter's 5 forces. So very basic business strategy principles that we need to understand to be successful. To marry up with accounting is corporate financial analysis. This is things like net present value, valuation, and since we're doing this at Stanford, we're going to think about this from a large organization perspective, but also from things like a startup perspective. How do you think about looking at the financial statements of new organizations or building a business plan? Clinical Informatics Strategy is the class I teach, which is really asking the question about how do we think about using technology to improve quality and reduce cost. And we'll get into concepts here about scale, disruptive innovation, network economics, business process improvement, all applied to a series of cases that were designed for this class, and most of which were designed specifically for this class that really kind of build on this structure of healthcare. How do we understand both the relationships of business model transformation and technology in healthcare? And again, bioethics. For quarter 3, we start with quarter 3 with marketing science and patient engagement. As we've built this program over time, one of the key opportunities is to think about applications of marketing and marketing science to healthcare. Right now, healthcare is usually a one-on-one patient encounter rather than a one-to-many. So we're thinking about, even right now, thinking about COVID, how do we get messages out to people about the benefits of masks? And how do we tailor different messages to different groups that have very different belief sets? That's a marketing challenge, not a medical challenge. Patient engagement, how do we get people understand where patients are at and think about the right tools and resources to help patients accomplish their own health goals? Healthcare operations management, lots of applications of this. How do we think about the use of decision models in healthcare? Right now, actually, I was just on a call about thinking about testing strategies and school openings. That's an operations management kind of approach. How do we think about queuing, scheduling, all of these service operations challenge that we face in healthcare? So that's a really exciting course, lots of applications of that material in lots of different environments. Data-driven medicine is a data science class where we're going to be looking very specifically at the ways in which we're using data today: machine learning, artificial intelligence, data lakes. This is going to be a real blend of lots of different ways we're thinking about the value of health information technology and data around Stanford. Social entrepreneurship and the Innovation Lab is your required practicum course. And here that you see this run both through quarter 3 and quarter 4. In Q3, you'll begin to work on your project concept, and you'll evolve that over Q4. That's going to be done mostly in groups, and that could be thinking about health IT applications in an existing setting. That could be writing a business plan for a new co. Lots of different ideas about how we can use that class. Finally, in Q4, coming to the conclusion of the program, we start with modeling biomedical systems, and this is really a course around data architectures and understanding how we organize data so we can be really effective in analysis. Quality and safety in the U.S. healthcare system is the final informatics course, and this is really a data visualization class, and it's a flipped classroom model, a data visualization and biostatistics class. It's a flipped classroom model where we're going to start with reports that we get throughout the healthcare system and think about what the underlying data issues are from a statistical perspective. Things like ceiling effects, skewed data distributions, variation, random noise. How do we understand the reports that we have produced from the data that we have in healthcare? And then we'll wrap up with the second half of the entrepreneurship program, the practicum program, and the last of the bioethics challenges. So as you can see, it's a really rich program, a really rich and exciting set of classes that we put together, but it's also an intense program. This is a full-time Stanford master's program that, at the level of rigor, although the faculty know that we're designing this for working professionals, it's still a full-time Stanford program. As I said, Stanford's really a great environment to put on a program like this and has a unique set of resources. And we've tried to draw from across Stanford campus to put on this program. The program's housed in the Clinical Excellence Research Center in the Department of Medicine, and it's a permanent degree of Stanford University. But we have collaborations from lots of different groups around campus, both in engineering, biodesign, our SURF Center, the Beamer Biomedical Research Center, Department of Biomedical Data Sciences, and our Stanford Center for Biomedical Ethics. So lots of different resources come together to put on this unique program. As a student in the program, what do we hope that you'll get out of the program? So we want you to get a greater understanding of operational, clinical, and ethical complexities that leaders face as they seek to optimize solutions. This says technology, but I really want to push more broadly to solutions, the coupling of technology and the business model innovation that's required. We want to build the management skills to lead multidisciplinary teams. And so, as I said, this is a program not just for clinicians. And one of our goals is to get you on a team. We're going to build the class and build the team so we have clinical and non-clinical personnel. So think about clinical personnel with technology personnel, all working on the same team. And so we have to learn how to talk to each other and work together. We want to leverage data and technology tools in a variety of different settings. You're going to see a lot of these courses are built on case studies, and we're going to see lots of different use of tools in a variety of different settings, from the nitty-gritty of kind of service operations to my course where I do a case on Alexa applied to population health. So it really runs the gamut of applications of technology in a variety of settings. One of the things about a program like this, when we offer it to working professionals every other weekend, is when you learn something on Saturday, you can apply it at work on Monday. And we've heard this over and over again, where students said, we had that discussion on Saturday, it was really engaging, and the same thing came up at work on Monday. And I was able to shine because I had thought through the issues and had a new perspective. And then what we want to welcome our MCiM graduates, program students and graduates, into a new cohort of thought leaders in medicine at this intersection of medicine, business, and technology. And as this program evolves over time, we're looking forward to a really rich set of alumni that are really going to be thought leaders throughout the field of medicine. So MCiM's open to individuals from a variety of backgrounds, and we aim to have a student body that's going to really bring a diverse set of perspectives and experience to the classroom setting. So this is in-person classes are really going to be immersive, discussion-focused, discussion-based, team-based projects, and we want you to be able to learn from the other members of your team, and that's how we're going to put together the class. Again, representing these different backgrounds and this diverse set of experiences. On the website, we won't go through it today, but we think there's an opportunity for people with these different backgrounds to come together and benefit from MCiM and move their career forward. I keep talking about careers, and a really important part of coming to get a degree like this is the idea, the recognition that to move forward in my career into a leadership role, to move from a clinical to a management role, to move from an engineering to a management role or leadership role, I need a set of skills or experiences that they didn't provide to me in my core disciplinary training. And that's where MCiM really comes into play. Since this is a Stanford program, what we want to do is broadly foster leaders, but specifically we've been charged with thinking about how we're going to use this program to address gaps in diversity and inclusion at the intersection of technology, informatics, and medicine, where women and minority groups have been underrepresented in leadership roles. I think there's a huge opportunity, and Stanford thinks there's a huge opportunity to use this program to address this gap. And so we want everyone to know that this is going to be one of our considerations on putting together the program. It was very successful when we did some of this at Duke. There's even more of an opportunity to do this here at Stanford. Zoe, do you want to talk a little bit about our application process and where we're at?
Yes, thank you. So as you all have heard Kevin say, we are looking to develop a cohort of students with a variety of backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences. Our program follows a holistic admissions process, so we do not require GRE or other standardized scoring. The only exception is TOEFL scores, as that is a university requirement for individuals who have their first language as something other than English. Our applications will be available via the Stanford Graduate Admissions Portal as of next week, September 1st. Through this portal, you'll submit all of your required materials, as I've noted here. This is also on our website. Please note that this is the portal where you will submit the 3 individuals for your letters of recommendation, not the actual letter of recommendation. And the transcripts that will be required to be submitted are unofficial transcripts. You do not need to submit your official transcripts at this time. And I urge you all to please look at our website. We have put a lot of work into really thinking about what type of questions you'll have as you're preparing to apply for this program. The website is a wealth of information. You'll also see that on our website, we have multiple rounds of admissions. All those dates are listed out on the website. Our 2 essay questions and guidance for the statement of purpose is also posted on there for anyone who would like to get a head start on writing their materials. Okay, so as I mentioned, round 1 will be opening September 1st. Our round 2 will be opening on December 15th. As Kevin already mentioned, our program is unique in that we start summer quarter, not autumn. So our first cohort will be starting on June 21st of 2021. Before we go ahead and jump into the submitted questions, I do want to remind everyone that we will be offering these information sessions periodically. Our next one is September 15th. Our website is a great resource for anyone looking to learn more about our program. However, if any of you ever feel that you have a question that's not accurately addressed, please feel free to reach out to us. I've listed our email. Our email is also listed throughout the website. And please subscribe, as that is the best way to learn more about what's going on with the program, and our LinkedIn is available.
I will say for, especially for clinical faculty that are interested in the program, we're going to do rolling admissions. I know some people have schedules 6 months out, and so we're going to try and get, if you apply early, we'll get you information back in plenty of time so you can set up your clinical schedules. As we've been talking about developing this program across Stanford, we really received a huge amount of support. Lloyd Miner is the dean of our School of Medicine, and has been a strong supporter of the program. I think he recognizes that MCiM is going to provide students with the skills, knowledge, and insights really to bring together technology and the clinical enterprise in entirely new ways. And I think all of us have realized with the COVID pandemic that we need new sets of tools. So thanks, Lloyd, for these thoughts and for wishing us well with this new program and for your support. So we've had some questions that have been submitted, and again, Zoe's monitoring the chat room. So if there's additional questions that you all have, we're happy to take those now, or you feel free to look at the website to find out more. So the first question we had is, how can an MCiM degree aid my professional development or career pathway? What we've seen in the past, first off, is you're going to gain some really highly applicable competencies. People are going to see that in your workplace from the time you start the program. Let alone if you're trying to move up in your career or make a switch between employers. So a really highly applicable set of competencies. And as I've gone through the curriculum, I think that might resonate with you. We're going to build a really strong network of faculty and alumni that are going to be there, not just to support you, not just while you're here on campus at Stanford, but obviously throughout your career. We have a really long tail, a great set of relationships. Our goal is to get you through the program, but also to make sure you get the most out of the program by helping be available to you throughout your career. We also have a very strong career counseling program that we've set up through the School of Medicine's Bioscience Career Centers. We've been working with them throughout this program, and this will help you with things like resume development, networking, targeted approaches to looking for a job if you're making a transition. So that's a resource that's available to you. Even if you're not thinking about making a transition, how do I advocate for myself better within my organization is an important piece of that. And then finally, you'll continue to benefit after graduation, as I said, as members of our growing MCiM community in terms of programs and events that we'll have here on campus over time. The other question we had was tuition and fees for the program. So fees for this program are set by the university as it's a full-time graduate student program. And so you're taking 4 quarters in a year. And so from June to June, the tuition would be $72,000. Stanford fees and expenses are not included in this estimate. So depending on if you're an employer-sponsored program, our program will probably cross your fiscal years, and so you might be eligible for 2 years of, depending on how your employer sets us up, of support from your employer. We'd be happy to talk to you more about that. MCiM is going to be CME accredited, and so if physicians can consider using CME funding towards the program costs if you have those. There's a Stanford employees can get STAP, STAP, or tuition reimbursement funding towards MCiM. Unfortunately, Stanford doesn't offer tuition discounts for people inside or outside of Stanford. But we are trying to work with different departments and organizations within Stanford to see about sponsorship, which Stanford does allow. And Stanford does allow your employer to sponsor you in the program. Financial aid is provided through the Stanford Graduate Financial Aid Office. Financial aid is not available, unfortunately, for international students. And there's no difference between in-state and out-of-state tuition. The next question we had was, do you require work experience? And the answer is no, actually. We do want to have some people that are right out of college that want to think about the world through texting or Snapchat or all of these technologies, and we want them in the classroom with people. Literally, we've had senior clinical faculty before that couldn't figure out how to turn their computer on. But you're going to have to demonstrate really strong experiences to make sure that not only are you able to do the work academically, but that you're able to really meaningfully contribute to the MCiM learning environment. So it's not just you as an individual that we're looking at, but we're also looking at how are you going to fit in this really unique classroom experience. Next question is, why is the format alternative weekends for on-campus and not evening sessions? I think we built this, there's never a perfect schedule for anybody. We really built this so especially our clinical colleagues or our professional colleagues can build a schedule in advance, do their full-time job, and complete the program. And Friday and Saturday has kind of worked out as being a format that was attractive. You will have extra homework. It's not just while you're here. So again, you're gonna be on campus every other Friday, Saturday, but you're gonna have teamwork and team projects to complete online assignments and group work. All the classes will be in person, but you'll have problem sets and things like that that span the class weekends. I should also say, and I think it hasn't been clear throughout all of this, this is not a technology program. So in none of the classes are you going to be required to do hardcore data programming. This is really a management program. We're working very hard with all of the faculty for the program to help them shape their curriculum specifically to address these topics. Even if there's a data science class for people who want to build algorithms, the data science class we're going to build is for people working with the people building data advanced algorithms. So faculty representation, for MCiM, I've talked a little bit about how we're drawing faculty from different disciplines across Stanford. And we're drawing faculty that are really experts in their fields, but also reflect the interdisciplinary nature of the program. A lot of faculty will come from the Department of Medicine. We've got a very strong relationship with management sciences and engineering on their program, biodesign, bioethics. Our job is to get people in the classroom, not only who are subject matter experts, but who are really interested in the kinds of problems that we're trying to tackle. And I think this is really the magic of a program like this. As we select business faculty, we talk to them a lot about what you want to get out of a program like this, how to present the material to you, how to use healthcare and non-healthcare examples, because they'll be, first off, it's really important for us to realize that these business tools are used in a variety of settings, but also we want to speak to all of the different people in the classroom, some of whom might come from a technology firm, a pharmaceutical firm, an insurance company, and what tools are going to work for them. We've also built a faculty advisory committee as part of our MCiM community and featured on our website. Their role is in advisory capacity of the program. Some of them do teach in the program, but not all of them. but all of them are accountable or help ensure that you get what you want out of the program.
And I just wanted to chime in. I think someone might have thought that the advisory faculty are the teaching faculty. Our teaching faculty are not posted on the website yet. They will be, we just haven't been able to do that at this time. But as Kevin mentioned, some of the advisory faculty will also be teaching faculty, but some of them will not be. They will all be part of the MCiM community, but there is a slight difference there.
Thanks, Zoe. We had a question about accreditation, and so as a Stanford degree program, MCiM's been accredited by the Western Associations of Schools and Colleges, so we're accredited degree program. That was part of the Stanford review process to put the program up. And then we've also been accredited by our CME program with a huge amount of CME credit. The CME office, probably by January, will also be able to offer continuing education credits across different clinical disciplines, nursing and pharmacy. But right now it's just AMA Category 1 credit. So lots of questions about the pandemic, and do you plan to host the classes online? So, you know, the university follows the regulations that put in place by Santa Clara County. We're starting in class, in June of 2021 for the following year. As of right now, we're planning on holding all of our classes in person, assuming that again, that the environment's going to change pretty dramatically regarding COVID by next summer. Hopefully Tony Fauci will get us all a vaccine and this problem will go away. But you know, obviously nothing is predictable with regards to this epidemic. And if the county doesn't let us have an in-person classes, then we will have to think about online instructions. Time commitment to the program, as I said, it's a rigorous full-time program. And what that means is we do want people to be working full-time. So your time commitment is the every other weekend that you're here. But I would also think about, you know, Stanford allocates 3 hours of prep for each hour in class. You know, that's going to vary between our programs, but you will have homework on at nights and class team meetings, problem sets, projects, and so if you join the program, I will promise you a rigorous experience. You're going to have to be really disciplined with your time, but again, we have a long track record of people being able to accomplish both. But you are going to have to make a lot of choices and unfortunately sacrifices in your personal life while you're working and taking a program like this. The group assignments, you know, again, are team-based, and you guys have flexibility to schedule that based on the team that you're assigned to in the class. You know, on the weekends that you're here, you know, we're really going to do activities to build you as a professional cohort, build opportunities for collaboration, get to know each other in the classroom. And then we'll also do other professional development activities, some related to careers and career services, but also bring in speakers to help you understand and think about career opportunities building from the program. So those were all the questions that we had. Zoe, do we have more questions in the chat? Happy to answer more questions.
I think I have answered everyone's questions via the chat box. If anyone else has anything else that they're hoping, oh, here we go. Someone is asking, what are the weekend session hours? So the Friday, Saturday sessions are full day sessions, roughly from 8 until 4:30 p.m. As Kevin mentioned, the weekend sessions are really fantastic in building a camaraderie between the students, helping you have that strong relationship with faculty. We will have guest speakers, and we will also have other, professional development type opportunities attached with those while you are on campus. Someone is asking cost. We already have reviewed that. Kevin, would you mind going back to that slide for someone? I think they might have joined late.
Zoe, on the, so the cost is the Stanford Graduate School, the graduate tuition at Stanford University for 4 semesters. In terms of the weekend classroom experiences, I think, like I said, you really built a strong set of relationships through this program. You're all going to be going through a pretty intense experience together, but I think at the back end of it, everyone really enjoys the people that they meet through the program, the relationship they build, and again, that stays with you throughout your career.
Some additional questions are there units that need to be taken to advance candidacy? Which the answer is no, we do not require students to have prerequisite courses or to have certain amount of units. They do need to have at minimum a undergraduate level degree. If you are an international student or someone who received your undergraduate degree overseas, you are also eligible to apply. Stanford has a wonderful graduate admissions website that will match up to what your international degree is to make sure that it matches to a bachelor level degree.
Zoe, one thing we haven't made clear is for the classes themselves, these classes are only going to be open to the MCiM cohort. So it's not like we're picking classes from around Stanford and sending you to them. We're going to have, these are classes put on for you all. And, there might be 1 or 2 other people in the room, but basically these are unique sections of these classes just for the MCiM program.
Looks like there's another transcript question. So if you do have postgraduate academic experience, you should include those in your application. Per Stanford, any institution that you attended for at least 1 academic year should be an institution that you include your transcripts from. Kevin, this is a great question for you. What if you are interested in applying to this program, but you're not in a leadership role currently?
That's a great question. Our expectation is that, in fact, the students who apply to this program, are not in a leadership role. They either they realize they need a different set of skills to move up in their career, have aspirations to move into a leadership role, or talking to your employer, or that you want a different career trajectory. So in terms of career switching or position switching, this is a program to help facilitate that. So when I talk about leadership, I talk about the end of this. And again, it doesn't have to be the day you finish this program. Our vision for the graduates is over 3 to 5 years, are that people are out of this program are going to have the skill sets to really accelerate their career, and in that kind of time frame. Some of the people who take the program actually don't look for a new job right afterwards. A lot of people don't, and there's no it's really up to you. Some people just need the skill set, realize they need the skills that we're providing, even to be successful in what they're doing today. Other people want the skills to, again, to move up in their career or change careers. And I think it's a great program because it has the same set of background will accomplish both goals. I should say also that, of all the degree programs I've built over the years, this has been the most fun and the most directly applicable to really helping people day to day in the work environment.
And just because there's also a couple of questions, as a reminder, we are recording this. We will have the recording slides and then accessibility enabled transcripts available on our website.
Well, Zoe, I think I really want to thank everyone for joining us today. As Zoe said, there's another webinar if you want in a couple of weeks. We have lots of information on the website. We've spent a good part of the summer really building it because it's a new program and unique program. So you can get a better feel for the courses, for the program itself, for a little bit of the motivation behind the program and the kind of experience that you'd have and the kind of experience that this program, will give you in terms of your future career options. I've, like I said, this has been the most fun program that I've built, master's program that I built amongst the several I built. Stanford as an environment to put on a program like this, as you see the kinds of courses that we put together and the kinds of students that we attract, I can't imagine a more exciting environment to do all this together. And so thank you all very much. And we happy to answer more questions or as you go through this process. I think an advanced degree like this for working professionals is a big commitment. But at the same time, I can tell you from a decade of very happy customers, this is a real opportunity, especially in the Bay Area, to stay engaged at work and to really move your career forward with this kind of pedagogy at Stanford. So thank you.
All right. I don't see any more chats coming in. If anyone else has any additional questions, please feel free to email us. Again, I have our MCiM inquiry@stanford.edu email listed here. And as Kevin mentioned, please check out our website as that also has a great source of information. Thank you all so much for your time this evening. I hope you all are staying safe and staying well.